I mean, open up Twitter right now and you'll get just deluged by drone videos and bad takes on Lily Phillips.
And flat Earth.
Yeah, there was a resurgence in the flat Earth thing a little bit right after we did our stream.
Were they mad at us?
I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't know. It just, we talked about it, and then all of a sudden, there was just a blip about flat Earth stuff, and I think that's Lily Phillips is a lot more interesting to talk about than flat Earth.
So I'd rather talk about flat Earth.
But I just have to pull this
Don't
up.
feed the beast, guys. Come on.
Tacticus, you are correct. It is Spirit Airlines. They could have originated from inside the plane. I got to hand it to you on that one. You're right. Okay. But what's wrong with talking about Lily Phillips, guys? It's the latest talk of the town.
Because it's a spectacle. It's meant to distract you. And everybody gets so obsessed about this stupid shit, and you're actually rewarding her for her shitty behavior.
Oh. Well, I have some tweets about that.
Okay. Should I bring up Edward Bernays? Yeah,
please do.
Okay. Edward Bernays, the nephew of Sigmund Freud, wrote a book, and it was titled Propaganda. And he was the darling of the ad industry. I don't think he was an ad guy, but they used that book, and it was in the, teens, 20s, he wrote it. And at that time, men could do men things, and women didn't really do men things. In other words, men smoked, and men traditionally had pipes and cigars. But the cigarette was invented shortly, I don't know, teens or something like that. And they wanted to figure out how to market cigarettes to women to get them to buy it, because, you could make a lot of money if you sold cigarettes to women. So what was it? A parade in New York where he hired, or some ad person, I don't know, it could have been Edward Bernays, to test out his theory. They hired a lot of women to just be out there smoking cigarettes. And it caught on. Other women saw them. I suppose they dressed them up as attractive, sophisticated women. Gee, I can be like that. And so it caught on, and that was the start of the women smoking craze. Now with this, in the manosphere, red pill, whatever you want to call it, we've been talking about body count for years. As not a good thing. Well, to promote degeneracy. Now, I don't know if anybody has this agenda. Theoretically, it's possible. Someone wants to promote this behavior in women. So if you put a woman out there with an obscenely high count doing egregious things, then the average woman, in comparison, says, well, I guess I'm not so bad. Maybe I can do more of this. So it promotes, just by talking about it, promotes the extreme, and then everybody kind of moves along. Maybe you could call it the Overton window. Oh, I guess I'm not so bad. I'm still in the double digits. Does that make sense? Is there any truth to that? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, it's the hive mind again, like you talking about. You normalize bullshit by consensus, and so if you put it up on the media screen saying, "Oh, this is normal," well, people start to believe that stupid shit, especially women.
Well, so Overton window, but you're also telling the women that if you want to be famous, if you want to be part of the
Attention.
spectacle, yeah, get your attention, get your clout, you have to do something crazy. Now, here's the problem with that is that that's a dopamine economy. And dopamine is a hormone that you can develop a resistance to. In fact, that resistance is why, for example, if you take hard drugs like, I can't say the names, but, you know, nose candy, for example, booger sugar, if you take those, that particular drug actually works on the same receptors as the dopamine receptors. And it's why you have to take more and more to get the same high, if you will. So for not, and this is not just for the audience of these women, this is for the women themselves too. Sex is primarily a dopamine response. And so the women also have to receive more and more dopamine, but the only way to get attention anymore is to be more and more extreme. It's why it's why there's the word I'm looking for. Transgression fetishism is a particularly dark form of sexual deviancy.
It's like the ladies that steal shit like a candy from a grocery store, and it keeps escalating.
Right. Transgression fetishism is similar to that. I haven't dived too deep into that, and there are people on Twitter who I follow who have. Eric S. Raymond has talked about it because he grew up around it because of the society his parents were forced to be a part of for their jobs with the State Department. But it's not necessarily sexual, but it's about getting sexual satisfaction from increasing transgressions, societal taboos of all forms, not just sexual. And so I can't say that on YouTube, but as an example, I'm going to let you guys fill in the blanks on that one because YouTube, but that is also an extreme form of dopamine response. And the spectacle is an attempt to work your dopamine response, and these women have to do it. And so so she does 100 people. We did the math. It takes her 14 hours to do 100 people. That's what, 5 minutes per or something like that. But what does she do now? She says, "Oh, I'm going to come out and do 1,000." Well, that's exactly what we're talking about here. She can't do what she did before. People would just go, "Meh, but you've already done that." Now she has to say, "Well, I'm going to do 1,000." It's technically possible. Mathematically, if you do 1 minute per, it'll take about 18 to 19 hours.
Gosh.
And somebody pointed out on Twitter that the actual world record is 900 something. I forget what it was, but so now she has to break the world record.
Yeah.
That's so disgusting.
Yes. But
Do not give them attention. That's a spectacle.
Right. But it's the disgusting that grabs the attention. That disgust is one of the deepest emotions you can feel.
They had a way to deal with that, right? So you want to be a spectacle, we'll make you a spectacle. Put him in the pillory.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so repulsive that I can't help but watch it.
Ugh.
Right. And that's
I
the
mean,
point.
that's kind of the whole thing. 1,000. Oh, that's repulsive. But I can't help but pay attention because it's so repulsive. I can't look away.
Yeah. And then, of course, everyone has to start talking about it because it's disgusting. Did you see what that disgusting person did over there? Oh my God, how could they? They're horrible for doing that.